What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And something must be going on, because who of you would have guessed that I would be ending the year with a video on two gaming phones? Yes, Average Dad is becoming a cool kid. No, I'm definitely not. But today I am pitting the RedMagic 10 Pro Plus Global versus the Asus ROG 9 Pro Global. Yes, these are the two best gaming phones on planet Earth at the moment. But are they similar? Let's go. So, yes. Almost another year done, and this has by far been the biggest year in my content creating life, and I have to thank you all. So yes, thank you. Can't appreciate you enough. Love you, and I wish you a Merry Christmas. But you don't care about that soppy stuff. You care about the two best gaming phones on planet Earth. And in terms of are they different, yes. It's actually staggering going through the specifications with a fine-tooth comb for each of these devices. Here's the specs that I found that are the same on each device. Yes, I'm not joking. Now obviously they're both 5G and they both have Bluetooth, but in terms of specifications, the chipset, the Android 15 software, and not much else is the same on these devices. From design to display to software and cameras and just everything about the phones is different. So rather than make this video 40 minutes long, what I want to do is talk about each category and talk about the differences. Let's start with design. Now, design-wise, there's no two ways about it. The Asus ROG phone is a far more subtle and classic approach to a mobile smartphone. You could look at this device and nobody would say that's a pro gaming phone until you turned on the Matrix LED lights in the back, but we'll talk about them soon. Whereas with the RedMagic, yeah, you could look at it from a mile away and think, that's a gaming phone. So both companies have taken very different approaches when it comes to the design. And in terms of the other aspects, RedMagic have gone for their usual Nubia flat panel display with an under-screen selfie camera giving you a full 6.85 inch uninterrupted display with the thinnest bezels I've maybe seen on any smartphone. And then the Asus has gone for more traditional quad curved, slightly waterfall panel, but is close to flat with a small hole punch camera. So again, 6.8 inches, but as mentioned, nothing is really the same. 6.85 inch, 144 Hz display on the RedMagic, 6.8 inch, 185 Hz display on the Asus. However, that 185 Hz is on very specific scenarios in ultra game mode with only specific games. So more often than not, you're going to be tied to only 165 Hz. Now, in all seriousness, these are the fastest refreshing phones on the market, and the panels that both deliver are fantastic. However, the RedMagic is sharper. It's Full HD Plus with close to 450 ppi, whereas that Asus is under 400 ppi. It's just a 1080p panel. To the naked eye, I'd be nitpicking here if I said there was much of a difference. But when you consider the price, and I'm actually going to talk about the price now because I think it's important when we're talking through the specs, I think you kind of want more from that panel. So, as mentioned, let's talk price. Both of these are global and both are available on the Average Dad Tech Store and other reputable websites. If you're going for the half terabyte version of the RedMagic, you can expect to pay about £180 less than you would for the half terabyte version of the Asus. If you're going for the terabyte version, you are over £250 cheaper for the RedMagic gaming phone. And it is important we keep that in mind, because the specs I'm about to reel off on paper kind of swing in the RedMagic's favour, in my opinion. We've already talked about the display resolution being better on the RedMagic. So let's talk about battery. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. If you are a pro gamer or an avid smartphone mobile gamer, you want to have the biggest battery available without having to carry around a power bank. And folks, both phones absolutely deliver in terms of battery capacity, but there is a massive gulf between the two. Starting off with the Asus, the ROG 9 Pro has a 5800 mAh battery. And I've talked about this before in recent flagship phones. The Vivo X200 Pro, the Oppo X8 Pro, the Honor Magic 7 Pro are all camera focused phones, but they all have the same or bigger batteries than the Asus gaming phone. However, RedMagic do it right. RedMagic have included a quite mind-blowing 7050 mAh battery in this device. Yes, over 7000 mAh. And folks, for gamers, heck, for anyone that wants a almost 3-day phone, this is the one to go for. It's unbelievable what you can get out of it. And when you pair both of these phones with the latest and greatest Snapdragon Elite chip, it's honestly game over in terms of efficiency. At the start of 2024, we kicked off with the Samsung S24 Ultra, and a lot of channels, including myself, were raving about that 5000 mAh battery paired with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy chip, giving you close to 2 days of battery life. Fast forward only 12 months later, we are now looking at the Elite chip with the 7000 plus mAh battery, giving you almost 3 days of battery life. I will challenge anyone to kill the RedMagic 10 Pro in a single day. Anyone. If you've done it, leave a comment, and I won't believe you without video evidence. And in terms of charging the devices, again, no surprise here, a different approach. Asus will allow up to 65 watts of fast charging, not to be sniffed at, but the RedMagic will charge wired at 100 watts. Where there is a difference though, and what goes in Asus's favour, is that they do have wireless charging on board. Yes, it's capped at 15 watts, but it's still 15 watts more than the non-existent wireless charging on the RedMagic 10 Pro. And another area that will be important to people that don't like to wear headphones will be the built-in speakers. Both are, don't get me wrong, absolutely fantastic. When I first heard the Asus speakers last month, I was fairly blown away. And you know me, I'm easily impressed, but these were impressive. You can hear for yourself, it's hard to get over in a YouTube video, but let me know in the comments what speakers you prefer. So remember I told you the price, and remember I said that on paper you would think that the RedMagic was more expensive. The better display, the bigger battery. There's also, for the first time I think I've reviewed in a phone, and I've never taking advantage of this, but it's got UFS 4.1 Pro storage, so I've never seen this on a device, but it's the fastest storage available, obviously, whereas the Asus is lagging behind with UFS 4. I know that is basically a moot point, it doesn't matter, but interesting that the RedMagic is getting the latest in storage speeds and nobody's really talked about it. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. Now, I did mention the Matrix LED lights on the Asus, and this is an area I'm just going to call gimmicks. Each phone has their own gimmick. However, one of these gimmicks are fairly practical, potentially, maybe. The RedMagic 10 Pro has a cooling fan. Yes. Not just inside, hidden away, it's a cooling fan that you can see in all its glory with a nice LED animation, and you can hear and feel it. You can change the intensity of that fan as well. For me, I'm never going to need to cool this phone with a fan, but practically for hardcore mobile gamers, maybe that's a good option. Whereas the Asus has an external cooling fan. If you buy the edition version through the Average Dad Tech Store, you get an external cooling fan that attaches to your phone and actually boosts the speaker quality as well, because there is a subwoofer in there, but the main benefit is the cooling fan. And these do work. These do improve performance. If you compare the 8 Elite chip on a flagship camera phone to one of these gaming phones, the gaming phones with the cooling fan and the external cooler will always score better and be more stable through wildlife tests and 3D Mark, all the other benchmark tests that people do. But for me, you shouldn't have to buy an accessory or use an accessory to get the benefits. So in my opinion, the RedMagic wins. However, I did mention those Matrix LEDs. No, there is no practical use, in my opinion. If you want to see your notifications or if a phone call's coming through, just have your phone screen up, because it's way less subtle when you've got these flashing LED lights on the back of your phone in a meeting. So don't give me that excuse that you don't want the screen to light up. But from a non-practical use case, playing games that remind me of Space Raiders on the back of my phone when I'm bored, yeah, I kind of like it. And being able to flash up the words boobs if I want, yeah, it's quite a cool gimmick, but a gimmick nonetheless. So you can decide which one you prefer in terms of gimmicks. And then one of the final categories, or the final category for this video, is cameras. And again, the approaches could not be more different. The wide 50 megapixel lens is effectively the same on both phones. 1/1.5 inch, they ain't going to break any records, but you don't expect it to on a gaming phone. And this is where there's slight confusion, I think, on Asus's part. I talked about the design, how it's more subtle. I also think with the camera, they're trying to not compete with the RedMagic, but compete with phones such as a OnePlus 13 or an Oppo X8 Pro, because they've included a triple camera setup with a 3x optical zoom. And I am obviously all for this. The Asus ROG 9 Pro is a phone that not only gamers can use and buy and enjoy, but people that actually like to take photos with their phone. And while they've done a good job at both, they've not been great in one area. The RedMagic 10 Pro is a great gaming phone for all the reasons I just mentioned. The Asus ROG 9 Pro is hard to call a great gaming phone when flagship camera phones have bigger batteries and the same chipset. And then on the other hand, the RedMagic 10 Pro is an awful flagship camera comparison, but it's not trying to be that. Whereas the Asus is maybe trying to be that camera phone replacement for you as well. And the lenses are just not good enough. Asus have got a bit confused in my opinion. I think if they had just stuck with what they know best and created an ROG 9 Ultimate like they did with the 8 Ultimate, it was a stunning looking device with the LED lights, the white back. I think that's the route they should stick with. While I appreciate they're trying something a bit different, and I know they've done it on the 8 as well, but this is the first one I've used. The 9 Pro, I don't know, I feel like if you're buying a gaming phone, you want it to look and feel and perform like a gaming phone. And again, I take you back to the price. The RedMagic 10 Pro is, what, 10-15% cheaper than the Asus? So, that's the differences, that's the little verses between the two. In terms of software, they both run Android 15 as mentioned with their own unique skins on top. The customization available on both is second to none. This RedMagic 10 Pro lets you customize every single element. I mean, just take a look at this menu. You could literally customize anything. So yeah, both manage that fantastically well. So there we have it, the final video before Christmas, and as promised, if this post I made reached 100 likes, I would post this video today, so a man of my word. If you are looking for a new phone after Christmas, obviously the Average Dad Tech Store is there, but I just want you all to have a fantastic Christmas and New Year with your family, give everyone around you a hug, and I'll be back before New Year. Don't worry, this isn't the last video of the year, because I've got a certain foldable phone from Huawei to review. Until next time.